Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome friends. In our introductory session, we discussed that what value operations analytics is bringing to the organization. We discussed that operations analytics will help in more than one way. It will help you in better decision making, it will help you in improving the productivity, it will help you in improving your customer satisfaction also. We discussed the case of QCD and then flexibility also. All these things are adding for improving the performance from the operations management point of view. We discussed that how operations management no longer is a reactive or static function. It can be a source of strategic importance for your organization. And this is the second session in that introductory series of this particular course, where we are going to talk of various applications of operations analytics. Now, when I say applications of operations analytics, we will be talking about various areas in the operations management where analytics will be used, and we will be talking of these areas in this particular course in much detail. So, we will be talking of forecasting and inventory management. Forecasting I consider as the basic area of operations management. Our most of the activities in operation management starts only with forecast data. How much demand you are going to have in future? How much demand in future? And every other planning of manufacturing resources, all that manufacturing resource planning is actually based on this information that what is going to be the demand in future. For example, again taking the clue from the current time, this is June 2024. The course is being produced at IIT Roorkee. I hope all of you are very well aware that Roorkee is in Uttarakhand, and Uttarakhand is a very popular place for this Char Dham Yatra. Now, this yatra started in the month of April every year, and every year when yatra is about to start, they means government of Uttarakhand do a forecast. And with this forecast, the resources like hotel rooms, medical personals, other transportation facilities, helicopters, all other things, all the paraphernalia which is required for smooth yatra season, that is created on the basis of this forecast. Now, what is happening that in the beginning of the period, government did some kind of a forecast, but then they realized that within first 15 days the forecast has overshooted like anything. So, they have to continuously update their forecast that okay, in next 15 days, just to give you one example of the point which I am trying to say, government started with this idea that okay, we will do online offline registration of all the tourists who are coming for Char Dham. But then they realized that the capacity of these shrines, Char Dham are holy shrines of Hindus. So, the capacity of these shrines are not enough to take care of that large number of influx of devotees. So, they stopped registration for a particular period. They stopped registration for up to 31st of May. They reopened the registration process on 1st of June. But again they realized that within few hours, all these slots which were available for devotees for these shrines got filled in just 3 to 4 hours. So, this type of information was not available with the government in the beginning. Otherwise, they could have created more infrastructure, more resources, so that more number of devotees can go to these shrines, and accordingly the economic development of the people surrounding those areas can also be equally done. Now, what is happening because of all these issues, large number of devotees are being harassed, the infrastructure issues, they are facing lot of problems and so on. So, the first important thing where analytics will be very useful in this process of forecasting. And when you have appropriate forecast, then it will also help you in proper resource allocation. I just mentioned about these resources. So, resource allocations with respect to money, with respect to material, with respect to manpower, with respect to space, all the different types of resources which are needed in your activities. I am talking of a service organization. So, different types of resources are there. If you are a manufacturing organization, different types of resources are there. So, accurate forecasting, more accurate forecasting will help you to allocate your resources accordingly. Second is proper inventory management. Based on the pattern of your forecast, that how many people are visiting on Monday, how many will visit on Tuesday, and maybe many more tourists will visit on weekends because of the holidays. So, accordingly you can plan your inventory management also. So, you can say that real time inventory management will take place when you use analytics in this particular case. And if you are a manufacturing organization, you also know that as per the forecast, how you need to do your production planning. Generally, when we are doing production planning, those who already know, those who know operations management, they are aware that production planning is done keeping internal objectives rather thinking about the customer's requirement. But if I can use analytics, I will be able to do a match that okay, internal objectives are also important. I need to see efficiency, I need to see productivity, but I also need to see customer satisfaction. If I only see productivity and efficiency, maybe I will not be able to serve products for customers who are requiring those products in urgency, emergency. So, the proper matching of internal objectives and customer requirements only possible with the proper use of analytics. Then some of the examples where forecasting is used, and particularly the use of analytics. For example, lead time. We all know what is lead time. Lead time is time between order and delivery. When you are placing the order and when you are receiving the supply. Nowadays, as I said in the first session, QCD. D means you should be able to deliver on your promised date and you should be continuously reducing the time of delivery also. Now, appropriately predicting the lead time, and here I can take two examples which are on extreme side. One example, you have let us say for some FMCG product, one FMCG product, and you are getting delivery in 10 to 15 minutes. That is one. And on the other side of this spectrum, you have a technology company which is developing a technology and delivering a technology to you. It may deliver a product, let us say in 3 to 4 years. So, this spectrum of lead time can be from 10-15 minutes to 3 to 4 years or even more. So, it is very relative. Here, if your lead time is changing by let us say 5 minutes, it may result high customer dissatisfaction. While in this case, if lead time changes by 1 or 2 months, it will not lead to that type of dissatisfaction. So, but point is that whether it is FMCG or a tech company, lead time prediction is very, very important, and hence it may result in reducing the risk of delays, particularly in these cases. Order fulfillment and time prediction. During this particular course, we may be doing 1 and 2 case studies, and in one of the case study we will be talking about this lead time prediction. One of the very you can say pride company of India got some order for international market, and appropriate prediction of lead time even for the supplier is also very important, because supplier has to give some kind of guarantee, some type of commitment to the buyer that okay, I will be delivering you in this much of time, and that commitment, that guarantee which supplier is giving should be based on some kind of analytics. Order fulfillment time prediction. You have to predict order fulfillment times by considering factors like order complexity, which can be significantly high in case of a technology products. For example, I have to develop a new type of missile. Now, in that missile, there is a huge amount of technology complexity. You may have, you may not have the production capacity, you may have, you may not have the kind of testing facility which is required, and the requisite manpower for that knowledge, know-how, all those things are making this estimation a very complex process. So, with the help of analytics, whether it is regression analysis based analytics or whether it is AI ML based analytics, it generally help in your order fulfillment time predictions. Then another useful area is data driven scheduling for improving your efficiency. So, you have limited resources of manufacturing, machine 1, machine 2, machine 3, machine 4, etc. Now, you need to see that how are you using these machines in the most optimal manner. Different types of products may have different requirement of these machines, and you need to plan your machine uses in such a manner that maximum efficiency, no or limited QU, and no or limited starvation. All these points you need to see in your planning the uses of these facilities, and at the same time you also need to see that in case any priority use comes, that there is a new requirement from a very you can say important customer, and you need to handle that requirement on a priority basis. Can you actually allow that priority based entry, priority based treatment for this particular customer who is a very important customer for your organization? We have seen that at airport, whenever every operation is going in a normal manner, there is absolutely no problem. But the planning has done so tight to look for the efficiency related issue that any time any emergency case happens, they have almost no plan to handle those emergency cases, that where to land that emergency flight, where to park that emergency flight, what type of resources to allocate for deboarding that emergency flight, etc., etc. So, data driven operation management will tell you that how much extra resources you should have for handling such kind of priority issues. Otherwise, if you do not have any extra resource, you have allocated all your resources, then it will be very difficult for handling the priority cases. And for handling the priority cases, if you have too much of resources, it is actually going to give so much of cost to your organization that you will be compromising on your efficiency, your cost will shoot up, and lot of resources will always remain underutilized. So, we want resource allocation also efficient, and we also want to handle priority cases also, and these two are again contradictory kind of activities, and here comes the role of data driven activities for improving our performance with respect to both these aspects. Then another important use of analytics can be production planning. Production planning, which is a very typical operations management role. When I am talking of production planning, it is one important aspect of resource optimization. How many machines, labor, other resources are available to you, and you know your capacity. These are translating into the capacity, production capacity, and then you are utilizing your production capacity for distributing it into the various kind of products you are going to make. Now, what is happening? We are not making just one type of product. SKUs are increasing. All of you understand what is SKU? Stock keeping units are increasing day by day, and when stock keeping units are increasing day by day, we have a lot of challenges for our resource optimization, because two things: more SKUs if you are offering, so more SKUs should be there in the market. Now, when you want to have more SKUs in the market, you need to have frequent changes in your production plan. If you are continuously producing only one type of product, one type of SKU, it will give you very high level of efficiency, because there is no changeover of tools, there is no changeover of jigs and fixtures, and you will have very high economies of scale. But that will limit your SKU availability in the market. So, you need to do this optimization, that we have to do changeovers one after the other, so that I can use the same setup for producing more outcomes, but in which order this production plan should take place, so that optimization and resource, you can say product availability in the market, different SKU availability in the market can also be ensured. So, that is another type of use in the field of quality management. You need to recall our QCD. Quality is the first expectation from the operations management. In a layman's language, more and more people understand operations management only from the qualities perspective. Now, producing good quality product is what we are expecting as a quality management professional. But within that good quality, there are so much of discussions. Good quality from the point of view of the customer, good quality from the point of view of the provider, and when as a customer I see good quality means fitness to use, that the product is useful for my particular purpose, that is a good quality product. So, analytics help us in monitoring the product quality in real time. Like earlier, we used to make a lot of quality control charts in statistical process control, and these statistical process control data was generated after a particular process is completed. But now, with the help of analytics, with the help of display monitors, we are able to display your quality performance in the real time. So, if I am a worker, I am a supervisor working at the shop floor, I have a monitor there, and in the real time I know that how many defective pieces I am producing, because everything is now integrated, and with this kind of data I am able to see that I may be the culprit taking my process out of Six Sigma limit, and therefore, I immediately stop, look for the corrective actions, and then try to improve my performance. So, whether it is Kaizen, whether it is Six Sigma, all these things are possible with analytics in a more effective manner. Use of predictive analytics in quality management can anticipate issues before these issues actually happen, and with this you are able to actually use some kind of preventive measures, so that these issues do not happen. So, predictive analytics is quite useful in our proactive approach to minimize the occurrence of defects in our processes. And this example tells that GE, which is a very popular name, it uses machine learning to analyze sensors data from jet engines to predict potential failures before these failures actually happen. You may have heard the name of different types of maintenance approaches, and in this maintenance approach, this predictive maintenance is considered to be best, because it minimizes the cost of maintenance also, because many of us believe maintenance is a cost center. So, this predictive maintenance actually minimizes the cost of maintenance, and at the same time it also ensures that your downtime is minimized. So, it is a win-win kind of a situation if you use predictive analytics or predictive maintenance approach in your organization. Then another very useful you can say application of analytics which is related to operation management. These days operation management is facing a lot of you can say challenges from sustainability point of view. When you are doing some kind of manufacturing, when you are transporting some product from one place to another place, when you are storing a product in a warehouse and you are using air conditioning and other temperature control systems in your warehousing, you are generating some kind of hazardous elements which are going into the environment, and therefore, there are continuously a lot of voices which are happening that we need to be making our operations more and more sustainable. And in that efforts of achieving the sustainability in the operations, how we can reduce the negative impact of various operations. For example, just to give you, in transportation, because of burning of fuel, lot of carbon emissions take place. Carbon is going to environment. Now, if I can see that can we replace all IC engine based our transportation equipments into battery operated, we have one solution which will help us to some degree for achieving the sustainability. So, similarly, there may be various other areas where use of analytics may help us in achieving the sustainability. For example, forecasting. Now, if you use data and algorithms related to let us say better forecasting, more accurate forecasting, it will help you in minimizing the wastage. We will be talking that forecasting can never be 100% accurate, and because of that there may be lot of piling of the inventories, and if inventory is piled up, it may lead to lot of wastage of your material, and if material is wasted because of poor forecast, and that is anti-sustainability. So, therefore, accurate forecast will help us in achieving the sustainability because of minimizing the wastages. Efficient logistics, because of burning of fuel in our logistics activities, lot of emissions are happening, and now if I optimize our transportation system, if I optimize our logistics which includes warehousing, which includes transportation also, it is quite possible that I can minimize the emissions and I can improve the efficiency. Real time monitoring will also help in minimizing the wastages. It will have minimizing the spoilage of let us say all fruits, vegetable, medicine kind of products. So, the real time you can say monitoring will also help us in reducing the wastages, and by reducing the wastage we will be contributing for the sustainability. So, these are just few sample examples that how analytics will also help in sustainability. In absence of data, when there is no data available to you, it is difficult to have proper forecast, efficient logistics, real time monitoring, etc. And therefore, it is highly recommended that on one side operations activity should help us in achieving the sustainability, but for using those data driven decision making, the analytics is also going to be playing important part. Some future scopes where sustainability will also happen, where efficiency will also come, where productivity will also improve, like use of robots, use of automated vehicles, real time monitoring. All these are areas where work is already happening, and I am very sure that in next 3 to 4 years, because there are many startups also coming in these areas, and these startups may help us in actually using the principles of analytics in the operation management decision making. So, with this we come to end of this particular session. Thank you very much.